All right, so it is Monday, March 7th, 2022. Crazy. I say this every time, and these weeks just go by so fast. I did have a couple announcements for our team this week, and I know that I have opened this up to my upline team, Fit and Fierce, Heart and Hustle, all of y'all, because Tiffany is going to bring some fire tonight, you guys. I am freaking in love with her. So I am super excited for you guys to hear just how much she's going to speak about connecting your vision to your business goals. She has experience in network marketing. She's newer to Beachbody. And Tiffany, I'll let you go into your story and share everything, but I know you're a mom of two. You are a law enforcement spouse. And ever since I've had the pleasure of working with you last year, my business has it's skyrocketed. And I swear it is because of you and I meeting. I was in such a low point last year, and I don't know where everyone's at rank wise in this group right now, but I was sitting at Diamond NLC 2021. We hit 2-star, and I was like, we're going to go elite. I had everybody quit. I had no working coaches, no one hitting SC, just such a low point last year. Tiffany sent an email to all of us in the central region to meet. And I was like, why not? Let's just meet. I kid you not, guys. Our team has been on fire. My personally sponsored team, Fit, Fun, and Free to Be, has been rocking. And it all started with the call that I had with her. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from her tonight. The next announcement, so specifically for our team, Heart and Hustle, we have our Diamond VIP group starting today. I still need to go get in there and introduce myself, but if you guys are in there, get in, because I know myself, Brooke, Dana, Cassie, Rebecca, we are planning to bring some fire to help you guys get to Diamond so you can get to our retreat that we're having in Arizona. Tiffany, I don't know if I told you that. We're going to Scottsdale this year. Super excited.
Oh my gosh, so awesome.
I've never been, so I am pumped. And also, if you guys aren't in that group yet, you can still earn your spot in that group. You just have to hit Emerald and Success Club this month. We'll plug you right in. The next thing, the big thing in the network, is the 4-week gut health protocol, and 4 weeks for everybody is launching next week on the 15th. Get on this, you guys. I've said this for 3 years. Get on every launch. Get excited about something. Watch the trainings. I would just watch some trainings on Vimeo this past weekend to really help educate myself on what this is even about, because I'm not a gut health expert. I love pizza. So it was really helpful for me to learn so I can better communicate with my people that I'm talking to and share on my stories. If you don't have a plan for this launch, look in the team pages. I know that I have a plan for my team. So many of the leaders on here have plans. Figure out something, because this is going to be absolutely massive. I think any autumn program, seriously, it just does wonderful. So start educating yourself, get behind the launch, start talking about it, and get excited, because this is a really, really huge opportunity, you guys, to get on this train and get people joining with you to help both grow your business and get some bomb results. I almost swore. I'm trying to be kind of professional. I'm usually not, but anyway, okay. So that's all I have for announcements. Tiffany, I'm going to let you take it over. I would love for you to just share a little bit more about you and your background, and we can see where the flow goes. But I just love every time when we talk how you share your story about vision and connecting that with this business. That to me always stuck with me. So I'll just let you take the floor. And if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll keep an eye out and we can ask them at the end.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday evening. I know it's late where some of you are. Still kind of early in Arizona. I know my husband had to wait on cooking dinner. Yes, I got him trained. He's cooking dinner tonight. It's fantastic. But I am so excited to be here. I'm excited to be with all of you, and Brooke is way too kind. I don't know if I truly made the difference in her business. She did it. And it really was, honestly, just connecting back to what her vision was. So to kind of give you a little bit of info about me, I come from a small company direct sales model. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it's called Avon. I like to say that just because about 138 years actually in the business of changing lives just in a different way. And so I rewind 10 years of my corporate role with Avon. Prior to that, I know, so small, such a small organization. I actually walked into Avon as a representative. Yes, you heard me. I actually went through the trenches just like you all do every single day. I built a team, started selling the product. I love it. Used to sell Avon. I started selling the product. I started dabbling in everything that it had to offer. Why? Well, kind of dealt a little bit of a different deck of cards. I rewind almost 12 years ago, actually. My youngest daughter was born with a swallowing abnormality. And so I tell this story for a reason, and you'll be able to connect the dots here in a little while. When she was born with a swallowing abnormality, I couldn't go back to work and punch a time clock right away. So some of us have been in that position. How many of you have been in the position where you had to stay home with your little ones? Anybody? Okay, I see a couple of you out there. Sometimes when that happens, it's kind of that punch in the gut. And I have to tell you, I was so used to being in the professional world. I'm actually a licensed cosmetologist by trade. Went to school for business management, decided I wanted to do hair instead. So I couldn't go back standing behind a chair and leave my little one. So bills were stacking. We were living off mac and cheese, ramen. Times were tough, y'all. Like it really got to that point in my life where I honestly did not know how things were going to get paid. And I remember at that moment, I was actually at the hospital with my little one. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with her for about the first 3 months. And it was actually 4th of July weekend, sitting in the hospital room with her. And I broke down and started crying. I didn't know how the next meal was going to come I have an older daughter as well. She's 17. And I didn't know how things were going to get paid. It was that moment in my life where I think I was probably at my lull. So at that time, I actually got on my phone, went online and signed up to be an Avon representative. And what's funny about that is my mom still sells 44 years in it. She's been selling. And I knew that Avon was not a scam. I knew that I could make money from home and I could do something while I was being a mom. So I remember I didn't sign up online because at that point in time, some lady would come to your house and sign you up with paper. Yeah, paper, kind of weird, right? She came over to my house, sat at my kitchen table and said to me, and I'll never forget this moment. After my daughter got home from the hospital, she was sitting here and she said, "Now, what do you want to do with your earnings?" And I said, "I don't know. I need money. I need to pay bills." She said, "No. What do you want to do with your money that you make?" And I said, I probably need to pay my water bill. Well, I live in Arizona and you guys can tease me in a couple of months because I'm joking about the nice weather now, but in a couple of months we hit 120-degree temperatures and it gets insane here. And your electric bills run about $500 a month. Well, we managed to pay our electric bill. Our water bill was the issue. And I'll never forget it. It was $108. So she asked me, she said, "Well, what do you want to pay?" And I said, "My water bill, it's $108. And she said, "Anything else?" Well, about a week prior, I was walking through the grocery store with my little one. At the time, my oldest daughter, and she was 4. And we were walking and she picked up those little yogurts with the M&Ms on top. Do you all know what those are? Anybody raise your hand? Yogurts, M&Ms. Okay. So I remember she had picked up those yogurts and I had a gallon of milk and she had those yogurts and she looks up at me with those beautiful hazel eyes. And I had to tell my daughter no, because it was a choice between a gallon of milk and those little yogurts. Now, when I say that out loud, it's kind of that moment you're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't afford those. It was that moment in time where I had to swallow my pride, but at the same time, I also knew I had to provide for my kids. So we walked out. I don't know who was crying harder at that point in time, either me or my daughter. And when that lady, her name was Sandy with Avon, she sat with me and she said, "What bill?" And I told her that Avon bill or that water bill. And I said, "I'd really like to buy my daughter those yogurts too." So I fast forward a month And I earned my very first bonus, and it was $125. Now, it seems very minute compared to what you can earn with Beachbody, and income disclaimer right now. But I remember that $125, I was able to pay our water bill, and I was able to buy my daughter not one, not two, but 3 packs of those yogurts. Now, I tell this story for a reason, because I tell this, and this is a story you'll probably never forget. I tell this because what was my drive? Why did I want to get up every single morning? Well, I knew in the back of my head, I made this dream. I made this goal and I wanted to make it a reality. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to get up every morning, put my 2 feet on the ground and make, I was going to cuss, crap happen. So with that being said, I want you all to take a minute and I want you to think, when you first said yes to Beachbody, what was your first dream? Take a minute. I want you to really, really think about it. What was that very first dream that you had with Beachbody? Whether it be a fitness goal that you had for yourself, whether it be a weight loss dream, whether it be a mental transformation, just to be healthy. What was it? Help hubby with bills. And you guys can come off mute. I love chatter. I'm not a quiet girl. Not to have to leave the kids ever. Toned arms. Love it, Anne. Let me see those arms, girl. I wanted to become a stronger. Ooh, here they come. Stronger runner. Lose weight. Get discount on products. See people. I love taking care of themselves. Buy your Energize. Go, girl. Feel better in your own skin. Save on Shakeology. Okay. So how many of you, now that you've answered those, how many of you have achieved or accomplished at least one of the initial dreams that you had? You can just type yes in the chat box, or you can come off mute and say, me, I love it, guys. I'm going to make everyone come off mute eventually.
I'll come off mute. Someone else will. Melissa will. Mine was to not pay for my Shakeology. I said, I can do this and get it paid for every single month. And when I did, I was like, look at, and I made some extra, like, best goal ever.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing, Brooke. Getting closer to paying for my supplements. Yes, absolutely. How many of you are not there yet? Anybody not there yet? It's okay if you aren't. It's okay. I love it. I love it. There might be some new ones on here that might not be there yet, and it's okay. And this is why we're doing this call, because I always take you back to that very first dream for the exact same reason I tell my story about when I achieved mine. I don't tell my dream so that I can pat my own back that I was able to achieve it. I really tell it so that you can connect it with whatever it may be that you are pushing towards right now. So we're March 7th. Can you guys believe it's already freaking March? Like, what is happening? It's like 3 months in. Rewind 2 months. How many of you set some big, scary, crazy goals, dreams at the beginning of the year? Anybody set some big, crazy, scary goals at the beginning of the year? Okay, I saw 5 hands, 5 people come off mute and tell me what your big, scary, crazy dreams are. I know now they're covering their faces. They're like, ooh, blackout.
2-star, mine is 2-star and NLC in the fall.
I love it. I love it.
5-star and leadership.
I love it. Anybody else? That's 2. We got 3 more. I see pupils.
5-star and leadership.
Awesome.
Oh, where did I go?
Our goal is 5-star elite. I want to be top 200.
Okay. All right, girl. I love it. One more. Anybody?
One more goal? Or are you waiting for somebody else?
Yes,
I'll,
one more goal. One more.
oh, my goals are also financial. So doubling, tripling my income, tripling, I'm going to say.
I love it. Okay. So we had 2-star. I heard a couple 5-star, elite, leadership. Now I'm going to flip that. What about your dream? You know, we were at NLC and I remember hearing Christina Delgado, of course, talking about those big pee your pants dreams, those big pee your pants visions. And I want you to think about what that dream is personally. She is amazing. She's fantastic. I love hearing her talk. What is your personal dream? I'm not talking Beachbody, y'all. I'm talking personal now. So I heard 5-star, I heard 2-star, so I'm just going to say this really quick. If I go back and I'm having a conversation, and I did this with Brooke, I do a lot of one-on-ones, and I always try to peel the layers of the onion, because I honestly, getting up in the morning, if I were to think, oh, I'm going to help 5 coaches become 5-stars, that doesn't really make my fire better. And the reason why is because when I say in the morning, oh my gosh, I'm going to help 5 coaches today, help them determine what they really want from their business and what their why is that's going to make them cry, that gets me out of bed in the morning. So I want you all now to share, and I'm going to pick 5 again, 5 of you. What is your big dream? What do you want to do? And I mean, be specific. 1 year, 5 years from now, what are you dreaming about? Work from home full time, have all the time to be here for my family, not to take time off for the, not to have to take time off for a field trip, freedom to travel. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Debt-free new home, financial freedom, match my husband's income from home. All right, a couple come off mute too. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear voices. I don't like talking to myself. You guys don't want to hear me the whole time. I promise you. Ask my husband. He doesn't want to hear me talk the whole time either. I promise.
I'll go. I just wrote
Okay.
in the chat though.
I love it.
I would love to build my own home on land and travel and make more than my husband.
I love it. You've got multi goals. I love it. More time with hubby. My husband lost his job last year. Get it, Laura. Get it, girl. Ooh, a safari to Africa. Oh my goodness. That sounds like a fun trip. That's like super specific.
Is it okay if I ask a question? I know I
Yes.
said at the end, I'm like burning right now.
No, I love it. Please
and you guys,
do.
if you have questions too, throw them in and we can just chat back and forth too. But I am so curious because I love talking dreams. I think I am definitely a dreamer, and between like my husband and I, he's very logical, and I could sit here all day and dream, and he's like, but wait, how are we going to do that? I would love what some of your best advice is for people that say, maybe there's some new people on here that are just hopping on and they're like, where do I even begin to find my dream and my vision? I would love to hear like what your advice would be for them.
And you know, I have to tell you, there are a couple more steps that we're going to walk through that's going to kind of give them a little bit of a guideline on how to do that, Brooke. So hang tight. I promise you it's coming, girl. It's coming, girl. Great, great question though. Anybody else share your big dream? I know the thinkers are always silent. Everybody is thinking. Everybody's thinking about your dream. And I promise you, I'm going to give you an opportunity during this call to identify one dream. And I'm going to tell you when to go. So you don't have to do it right now, but if you're dreaming right now, girls, write it down. I don't know if there's any men in here. I'm sorry. I just said girls. Is there men? Okay.
No,
I don't want to leave anybody out. Okay. Everyone write them down if you're thinking of them right now. Okay. So we think big. Now I'm going to use an analogy. It's funny because I actually heard it at church this weekend. The analogy that we always think bigger is, what's bigger? You guys can type this in the comments. There's a couple of things that are said, like sayings. Better, yep, absolutely. What about go blank or go home? Go big or go home.
Go home.
Dream.
Big.
Big. Okay. So we always talk about big. And my pastor actually was talking about this weekend. And it was so funny because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Because that was like kind of what I was thinking towards a dream call for Brooke's team. So as I think about, we always think about going bigger. Now, what about the smaller first and building up to the bigger? I know we always talk about, you have to crawl before you walk. You have to walk before you run. You have to run before you sprint. It's always the building up of the momentum, right? And we're trying to build that. So hang with me for a second and think about that first story that I told you. And I just want to, I want you to really, really think about that moment when I sat at my kitchen table with Sandy is her name. She's actually my very best friend to this day. When I sat at the kitchen table with her and I told her, I want to make money. And she said, be specific. And I told her what I want to do in the next month. What do you think would have happened? And I'm just throwing this out there. If I would have only set up and said, you know what, in 10 years, I want to pay off my home. How motivated do you think I would have been at that very moment? Defeating. Now, I'm not saying it didn't potentially happen, but did I even think that that was something that was possible at that very moment when I couldn't even figure out how I was going to buy my daughter those yogurts? So I want you to, and this is what Brooke was just asking for. I want you to start smaller and work towards bigger if you've never dreamed before. Now, if you are a vision caster and you know how to cast visions and you can go in and you can dig deep within your soul and say, you know what, I want to do X, Y, and Z by December of 2026, good for you. And I'm glad that you can do that. Not everybody can do that. However, what I find when most people do that, they don't always know how to break it apart either and make it into bite-sized pieces that they can actually eat one piece at a time. We have to sometimes create that tangible because we are an instant gratification society. And if we don't see steps towards what our overall dream, our goal is, then a lot of the times we take a step back. How many of you have ever taken a step back? Be real, be honest. How many of you have set a goal and not achieved it? Be real, be honest, okay, thank you. And how many of you have felt like sometimes when you set those big dreams or those big goals and you're like, you know what? Maybe I should go a little bit lower. And I don't know if I could really hit that goal. Maybe I should just, I don't know if I can do that. Instead of getting a Tahoe, maybe I'll just settle for a Ford Focus. If you really pull down your dreams all the time, does that keep you motivated either? It really doesn't. So how can we still think about those big, scary dreams, but start identifying the smaller milestones along the way or the smaller mileposts along the way to get to that final destination? I always think of it when and it's funny, we were in Vegas and I drive to Vegas. It's a 5-hour drive. And we always wait for the one rest area that's like 2 hours out because I usually am about to pee my pants. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I'm like dying by the time we get to this rest area. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Christina Delgado talks about the pee your pants vision. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in Vegas. She's talking about the pee your pants vision. And I used to use that story of driving to Vegas and having to go to the bathroom halfway there. So it was just funny how ironic that was. But I want you to think about it as going to a destination and hitting those mileposts along the way. And you know what? Maybe that rest area for you is your 6-month dream. Maybe that rest area for you is your 1-year dream. So my question is, how many of you have created your 1-year dream for yourself? What do you want to do in the next year? I know there's a couple of people on here that have a year dream. Anybody, year dream? What do you want to do in the next year for yourself? Quit your job. And I know that some of the dreams that you shared earlier may be that you want to do those in the next year. So maybe it's connecting right back to those. Anybody else? 1-year dream. Pay off hubby's student loan debt within a year. Not renew my therapy license. I love it. I love it. Okay. So as you're thinking of those 1-year dreams, what about your 6-month dream? And I told you, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I want you to really think about what you want to do in the next 6 months, kind of break it apart and help you a little bit. 6-month dream. I've heard, I really want to take my husband on the honeymoon we were never able to go on. Awesome. Where are you going to go? How much is it going to cost? What sites do you want to see when you get there? How are you going to get there? Be specific, really specific. If you want to achieve, I don't know, Disneyland, how much is it going to cost? Same questions. If you want to buy a new car, you better go sit in the car that you want to buy so you can smell it, taste it, touch it, feel it, and you better know how much it's going to cost you. So I want you to take a couple of minutes and think about what is your 6-month dream that you've been thinking about, and write it down. And if anybody wants to share it in the chats, share away. Five-star, Melissa, I'm going to challenge you. What's your dream that goes along with that, babe? What's your personal dream? Because is 5-star going to wake you up in the morning? It might, but what connects with that? What can be a dot connector for you? What does 5-star even mean? And I'm just going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge anybody that tells me Beachbody goals too, because I want to be able to connect the dots with you. And that's what this call, I think, really represents, is being able to kind of start seeing it a little bit clearer. Once you get off, you're going to do a lot more work, but it's going to be good work for you to be able to really, really look at what is next.
Did you want me to answer?
Yes, I love it. Please do.
So I think that what 5-star means to me is, and I'm just going to keep it really real, but I haven't been able to help anyone duplicate this business yet. And I want that so badly. And so 5-star to me means that I'm helping hopefully at least 2 people, achieve their goals too. And I want to feel that. I want to feel that impact.
And so your way of measuring, and since we're talking, your way of measuring that 5-star is obviously by 2 people achieving their dreams and goals. So having pretty much the same conversation. So duplicating this conversation with them, right? And then as far as your time frame, looking at your exact date, I'm sure you already have this, especially because I know you have it in your brain. I just challenge you to connect it to something personal for you.
Oh yeah. I've got tons of financial goals and goals for my family.
Love it.
My daughter college in the fall. Like there's huge, personal connections to that as well.
That's what I was looking for. There you go, Melissa. You got it. I love it.
I want to cut that check for her college, whatever that looks like. It's coming very soon. So I should have a very real figure about that. But I want to cut that check. I want to send her, on any adventure that she wants to go on. I want to blow out this kitchen. Like there's lots.
I love this. I love this. And your daughters must be 17 as well.
She is.
So I'll be praying for you too. Great. Cool. We're right there together, Melissa. I see you, girl. I see you. I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Melissa. No, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. And that's kind of an example of a breakdown as well, guys. Just what she just did right there. Being very specific with why. And that's why I kind of dug that, because I wanted to hear the why behind it. Now that birthdays are done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's my girl. I could share mine a little bit, how I started, because I share a lot about how I went from being a social worker to staying home. But honestly, when I first started coaching, like now that I think back, like that was way too big for me. But it was paying for my Shakeology. Then I was having fun and I saw this diamond retreat thing. I wanted that so bad. Like I am so trip motivated that I was like, all right, tell me what I need to do to get on this trip, because we never really prioritize trips because it's too much money between traveling, hotel, food. So when I saw the place would be paid for, I'm like, done, I'm getting myself on this trip. And I actually didn't earn it that first year. I was like a month away from Success Club and I literally almost threw in the towel. I was going back to my job that I hated, but that October I had earned the Punta Cana trip. And that was like my fall, like in the basement crying. I was like, I did it. I earned something. And then that December, there's a whole story behind it. I ended up leaving my job because I saw the potential. And then I saw the income growth and how close I was to hitting diamond at that point. Yes. Brooke Anderson is my coach. And she probably remembers me saying I'm going to quit like 80 times. My first year. And I can't even imagine what my life would look like if I would have, but it was for me, it was the trips. And even 5-star, like it is that trip. Like, yes, I want the money, of course, but I can find other ways to make money too, if I really have to. It is like taking my husband to Scottsdale. I think about that every morning. I think of my girls on my team coming with me on this diamond retreat, because the past 2 that I've been on, I haven't had anyone on my team. So it's bringing them with me to go on the plane with and have drinks at the airport, and then taking my husband on a vacation. We never had a honeymoon either. So that totally got to me. Like we've never really had a trip, just him and I. So I want to show him this world so bad so he can immerse himself in it. And like income is a big thing for us too, but the trips, honestly, for me are almost bigger. It's like, that is what gets me moving every day.
No, I love that. I love that. And you know what, to be honest, I think when you think about it not being the income, but it's the trips, it allows you to have income disclaimer, because I know you're recording this. It allows you to have that financial ability to be able to go on the trip without it coming out of that bill money. So it's the same concept. It's just looked at a little bit differently. So no, I love that, Brooke. Thank you so much for sharing. No, I love it. Love it.
Yeah. And it's cool because then the income kind of happens with it. It's like you were in the trip, the income, and you're like, oh, just keeps going. Insert income disclaimer.
Yes, for sure. I know we're always insert income disclaimer. Okay. So we thought about the 6-month dream. The most critical dream for me, and Brooke will tell you, the very first time I had a conversation with her, this was one that I really, really look at. What is your 1 month? And it goes back to my story. I told you it would all connect. It goes back to my story that I told you. I will tell you, I still set my 1 month dream. What is my 1 month dream currently? I get my nails done every month. Can anybody see them? They look really bad, but they look good on camera. But I get my nails done every single month. Now, is this something that I can't afford to do? Not necessarily. I do it because when I wake up in the morning, it's my constant reminder, hey, you get to go out and change lives today. Hey, you know what? You get to get on a lot of calls. I don't have to, I get to, and I choose to, because the impact that I can make is a trickle effect to the impact that Brooke can make, the impact Melissa can make, and so on and so forth. And you have that power in your fingers too. So what is your 1 month dream? I've heard Botox. Botox was this last one. I was just talking to a coach the other day, and she said in December she wanted to get Botox, and she legit got Botox last month. And she said it's kind of her constant reminder. I rewind 11 and a half years ago. My initial was my water bill and those yogurts. Hasn't my why changed a lot? Absolutely. And it's always going to change. But what is your 1 month dream that you set for yourself each and every month? Love it. Writing lessons, monthly money into our vacation fund. I love it. I love it, guys. And I challenge you to be specific, even with your 1 month. I pay way too much money to get my nails done every month. It's went up so much. It's insane. It's like $48 now without a tip. I'm like, it's disgusting how much money it is, but it's my only vice. But I really want you to break it down. How much is it that you are putting aside every month? And it couldn't be small. I've heard taking my kids to McDonald's every month, which is disgusting. They should be taking them somewhere healthier. But I mean, like, I've heard something so small, going to the zoo with my kids for the first time. I've heard so many different 1 month dreams. So I challenge you. I was 7-year-old last time for the nails. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. We'd be able to have a shopping day. Oh my gosh, I'm loving these, you guys. Cute clothes. I buy all the clothes. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. We're starting to think. Okay, so I really want you to focus on that 1 month dream. It's probably one of the most important. Why? Because it's that first milepost. If you don't pass that first milepost, you're not getting to your final dream. It's not going to happen. If you drive around in a parking lot in circles, you're never going to get out of the parking lot. And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something different, right? And I always say, when are you going to take the word insanity out of your business? Well, it starts with setting your first dream. And it starts with setting your first goal. And so with that being said, I challenge you, set that very first dream, because the second, third, fourth, 6 month, 1 year, 10 year, 20 year dreams are a lot easier to set, because when you're setting those smaller ones first, remember, bigger is what?
Better.
But in order to get to the big, you have to go through the small. And I actually found a quote. I thought it was really funny. Hold on. I'm going to tell you, I didn't have it. I had it on my screen. But I saw this quote, and it says, set small goals for yourself and make sure you hit them. Pretty soon, all of those small goals will have snowballed into something big. And I just say that because as you are setting the smaller ones, imagine what it's going to look like the next time you set the small one, how much closer you're going to be to that bigger one, right? And as you are, how many of you have a team that you're building underneath you? How many of you? After 4-week gut protocol, how many of you are going to have a team? Who is bringing a couple of people with you to gut protocol? Come on. We got to do this, girls. I have to say, I'm so excited about gut protocol. Did anybody watch the National Wake Up Call the other day with Christina Delgado? And she said she thinks that this is going to be the next biggest launch since 21 Day. Girls, I'm pumped. I'm pumped about this new program. So with that, how many of you are going to bring one? And most of you do have a team that you are building, or you at least have a friend that's joined you. And I will tell you, there is some fun training that is coming, and it has not even been announced. You guys are hearing it first. For the Central region and all of their teams, I am putting on a 5-month boot camp, if you will. It's called Triple I. And it's invitation, information, inspiration, and it's going to walk through how to have an effective conversation, how to overcome objections, how to follow up. I really want to partner with our leaders in the central to help then partner with all of you. And you guys are just kind of getting a snip of it because I'm going to do a little bit of this training in that training as well. But I want you to really, really start thinking about who is going to help you achieve that dream while you're helping them achieve theirs. And who are you going to have this conversation with? How many of you know at least one person that could potentially dream a little bigger, but start smaller? Anybody? We all have to know one. I start with my kids because my youngest daughter likes to spend money on Amazon. So she always dreams about something, and each and every month, if she could buy something, she totally would. We all know at least one person. So I have 4 minutes remaining in this call. I have a couple of challenges for all of you. The first one, you guys ready? You got your pens? The first one, your 6-month dream. What is it? Be specific. Remember, write down how much it's going to cost, what it is. Draw out a roadmap. I don't care if you color it with crayons, however you want to write it, be specific and make it real. The second thing, what is your 1-month dream? And the biggest piece of that is, how is Beachbody going to be a vehicle to help you catapult to both of those dreams and beyond? Because we all know that that can happen. And it will happen if you allow it. Third thing, ready? Who is one person you're thinking of right now? And if it takes just a minute, the average person knows 300 people. I just want to throw that out there. I want you to think of anybody that you know, friend, family, neighbor, cousin, little lady with the dark hair behind the counter at Walgreens. I don't care how you know them and what their name is, or if you know their name. If they could benefit from something that Beachbody can provide to them, when are you going to have that dream conversation with them and help them achieve it too? The very beginning of this call, I asked all of you, what was your 1-month dream with Beachbody? And you all shared something with me. There's other people out there that feel just like you did. They may have wanted toned arms. They may have wanted that protein powder, that, and I don't even call it a protein, Shakeology, but they were kind of settling for the generic stuff from Walgreens because the little lady with the dark hair behind, I'm just kidding. They couldn't afford Shakeology. So how can we help them? Do you guys all have your one person? It's probably the most important piece. Everybody have their one person? Give me a fist bump if you guys have your one person you're thinking of. You're going to help them dream a little bit. It's probably my favorite thing to do is sit down and dream with people. Any questions about dreams, any questions about anything that you guys are thinking of right off the top of your head? And we finished the first, I guess you could call it chapter, but I'm not 100% going into dreaming with this program that I'm putting together. We're actually walking right into how to build your list. Who are you connecting with? We're walking right into that in this next, and it's at the end of this month, so it'll be perfect.
Thank you so much for this. This was awesome.
Of course, of course. Hopefully I didn't put anybody to sleep. Not everybody was talking, so you guys had to listen to me the entire time.
This was great. I put in the chat all of the questions that you had, and I I think the thing that I love about you too, Tiffany, is that you don't just like end. I love mindset talk, but I love the little action steps. I love the, okay, hear this, now go do this. So I would love for people on this call right now with those 3 questions, write it down, take a snapshot, send it to your coach for accountability. And I do this with my girls all the time. And I swear this is a key thing that I learned from you that has helped our team is after we do a call, I just say, hey, go, now we did this, we talked about this, go do it, share it with me. I want to see where you're at. I want to hear what your thoughts are. And if you're not sure where your thoughts are, let's talk about it. Let's voice message and get some of that stuff out. So I think that is like super beneficial to have this mindset and this powerful talk about dreams and vision. We have the tangible with your story, and now we have the action to go do something about it.
For sure.
So thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
And everybody follow me on Insta. My Instagram following stinks. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I honestly didn't even have an Instagram until I started with Beachbody. I'm 8 months in, actually yesterday, Brooke. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, it's almost been a year already. It's kind of went really fast.
I think we talked in like August, or I don't even remember something.
Yeah. It's been like 6 months, 7 months, something. That's kind of crazy.
Amazing. What's your
You guys are
Instagram
so
handle?
welcome. I am so happy that all of you were able to join. And gut protocol, oh my gosh, the big challenge, the one person, help them dream. Maybe it's gut protocol, maybe it's another program, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm excited about gut protocol. But hey, we've got so much to offer. Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Awesome. Thank you, Tiffany. And thank you guys. I am going to put this recording up. I'll share the link in our team pages. Everyone have a good night. See you guys early in the morning to work out. Get some sleep. Bye.
Bye.